The information provided in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This content does not constitute professional marketing, legal, financial, or business advice. The strategies discussed are based on historical trends and case studies within the digital marketing industry. Individual results in email marketing are not uniform and depend on various factors including industry, audience engagement, content quality, and technical execution. There are no assurances of specific financial gains or business growth. Viewers are strongly encouraged to conduct their own due diligence and consult with qualified legal and marketing professionals to ensure compliance with local regulations such as the CAN-SPAM Act, GDPR, and CCPA before implementing any of the methods described in this series. Most creators and business owners today are unknowingly building their entire future on rented land, and the landlord is currently preparing to raise the rent to a price they simply cannot afford. In the last 24 months, organic reach across major social media platforms has plummeted by an average of nearly 40% for the majority of brands and influencers. You might have spent years accumulating 10,000 or even 100,000 followers, but the cold reality is that when you hit publish, the algorithm likely only shows your content to a fraction of that audience. This is known as the algorithm trap. You are essentially paying with your time and your data for the privilege of speaking to an audience that you do not actually own. While the giants of Silicon Valley continue to shift the goalposts, a 40-year-old technology is quietly outperforming every single social trend, generating potential outcomes that show an average return of $36 for every single dollar invested. That is a 3,600% return based on historical industry data. Today, we are beginning a deep dive into the most valuable asset your business will ever possess: a high-quality, permission-based opt-in email list. This is not just about sending newsletters. This is about establishing a direct, unmediated line of communication with your most loyal customers that no algorithm can ever take away from you. The problem we are solving today is the volatility of digital attention. If you rely solely on a platform like TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube to reach your customers, you are one policy update or one shadow ban away from losing your entire livelihood. We have seen case studies of million-dollar brands vanishing overnight because they failed to bridge the gap between social media discovery and owned media retention. This masterclass is designed to provide you with the technical framework and the psychological triggers required to move a total stranger from a scrolling feed into a private inbox where you have their undivided attention. We are going to break down the science of the opt-in, the architecture of the lead magnet, and the historical trends that prove why email remains the undisputed king of conversion. If you have ever felt like you are shouting into a void, or if you are tired of being a slave to the feed, this is the roadmap to reclaiming your sovereignty as a business owner. To understand why opt-in marketing is the engine of maximum growth, we must first examine the shift from interruption marketing to permission marketing. In the early days of the internet, marketing was about volume. It was about blast emails and buying lists of thousands of people who never asked to hear from you. This is what we call the dark ages of digital communication. Historical trends show that these methods eventually led to the collapse of deliverability and the rise of aggressive spam filters. Today, the landscape is entirely different. An opt-in is more than just a checkbox on a website. It is a digital contract. It is a moment where a consumer raises their hand and says, "I trust you enough to give you access to my most private digital space." The inbox is not a public square. It is a digital living room. When you are invited in, the rules of engagement change. You are no longer competing with a billion other voices in a feed. You are a guest. The data consistently highlights that first-party data, which is information you collect directly from your audience with their consent, is becoming the only reliable way to track customer behavior in a cookieless future. As privacy regulations tighten globally, the ability to track a user across different websites is disappearing. This means that if you do not have an opt-in list, you are essentially flying blind. You won't know who your best customers are, what they want, or how to reach them again without paying for expensive retargeting ads. By mastering the opt-in process, you are essentially creating an insurance policy for your marketing budget. Instead of paying every time you want to show a product to a customer, you pay once to acquire the lead, and then you have the potential to market to them for years at a near zero marginal cost. Let's look at a case study of a mid-sized e-commerce brand specializing in sustainable apparel. In 2024, they were spending nearly 60% of their revenue on social media advertisements just to maintain their current sales volume. Their customer acquisition cost was rising every month as the platforms became more crowded. They made a strategic pivot to prioritize their opt-in email list. Instead of driving traffic directly to a product page, they began driving traffic to a high-value, style guide lead magnet. Within 6 months, they grew their email list from 5,000 to 50,000 subscribers. More importantly, their historical trends showed that while their social media conversion rate was less than 1%, their email conversion rate was nearly 6%. By shifting their focus to the opt-in, they reduced their dependency on paid ads by 40% while increasing their total revenue. This is the power of moving from a rented audience to an owned audience. In this first part of our masterclass, we are laying the foundational philosophy. You must understand that every single person who visits your website or views your content is a leaky bucket, unless you have a way to capture their information. Without an opt-in strategy, you are working incredibly hard to bring people to your door, only to let them walk away and forget you ever existed. We are going to explore the mechanics of the value exchange. In 2026, people are more protective of their email addresses than ever before. They know the value of their data. Therefore, the Join My Newsletter button is officially dead. No one wakes up in the morning wanting more email. They wake up wanting solutions to their problems, entertainment for their boredom, or a way to save money. To achieve maximum growth, your opt-in must be an irresistible offer. We will be diving deep into the different types of lead magnets that are currently seeing high conversion rates, from exclusive data reports and interactive calculators to private community access and early bird product drops. We will also analyze the technical side of deliverability. It doesn't matter how great your email is if it ends up in the promotions tab or the spam folder. We will discuss why the double opt-in method, while seemingly a hurdle, is actually a historical best practice for maintaining a healthy sender reputation and ensuring that your messages actually land in front of human eyes. This masterclass is intended to be a comprehensive guide for those who are serious about sustainable growth. We are moving away from the hacks and shortcuts that might give you a temporary spike, but eventually lead to your account being flagged. We are building a system that respects the user, provides immense value, and creates a feedback loop where your audience actually looks forward to hearing from you. By the end of this 10-part series, you will have a sophisticated automated machine that grows your business while you sleep, backed by data and proven psychological principles. We are starting with the why, because if you do not understand the stakes of the algorithm trap, you will not have the discipline to execute the how that follows. Prepare to shift your mindset from a content creator to a database owner. This is where real business growth begins. To transition from being a content creator to a database owner, you must first master the art of the value exchange. In the current digital landscape of 2026, the average consumer is bombarded with over 5,000 marketing messages a day. Their inbox is a fortress, and they are the gatekeepers. If you want them to lower the drawbridge, you cannot simply ask for an email address. You must offer a digital key that unlocks a specific, high-value solution to a problem they are facing right now. This is where the lead magnet comes into play. A lead magnet is a specific piece of value offered in exchange for a prospect's contact information. However, the days of the generic 5-page PDF ebook are largely over. Historical trends show that engagement with static, long-form lead magnets has declined by 60% over the last 3 years because people no longer have the attention span for fluff. Imagine if you are a consultant named David living in Chicago. David has a website that attracts 3,000 visitors a month through his insightful blog posts about corporate productivity. For years, David had a sidebar that said, "Subscribe for updates." His conversion rate was a dismal 0.5%. He was essentially letting 2,985 potential clients walk away every single month. In 2026, David shifted his strategy. Instead of a generic subscription, he implemented a dynamic productivity calculator. Visitors could input their daily tasks, and the tool would generate a personalized efficiency score, along with a customized 3-step plan to reclaim 2 hours of their day. To receive the full report, the user had to provide their email. David's conversion rate skyrocketed to 12% within the first 30 days. This is a prime example of a high-utility lead magnet that respects the user's time while providing immediate, tangible value. The first step in building a high-growth opt-in system is identifying your audience's point of friction. Every niche has one. If you are in the fitness industry, the friction might be a lack of time for meal prep. If you are in the software space, it might be the complexity of integration. Your lead magnet must be the WD-40 for that friction. To do this effectively, you need to follow the specificity rule. A lead magnet that tries to solve everything solves nothing. Instead of an ultimate guide to marketing, You want to offer the 3-step headline template for high-converting Facebook ads. Specificity creates a higher perceived value and attracts a more qualified lead. Historical data from major marketing firms suggests that hyperspecific lead magnets can outperform broad ones by as much as 300% in terms of click-through rate. Let's look at the technical architecture of a 2026 standard landing page. In this era of mobile-first browsing, your landing page must load in under 1.5 seconds. Anything slower, and you are looking at a 50% bounce rate before the user even sees your headline. The headline itself must be the strongest part of the page. It needs to focus on the outcome, not the mechanism. Instead of saying, "Download my workout PDF," you say, "Reach your target weight using the 15-minute morning routine utilized by professional athletes." This shifts the focus from the work the user has to do to the result they want to achieve. Following the headline, you need a subheadline that builds social proof or handles an objection. For example, used by over 10,000 busy professionals to maintain peak performance without a gym membership. Case studies of successful US-based e-commerce brands show that adding a visual element to the opt-in page can increase conversions by 30%. This doesn't mean a stock photo. In 2026, users respond to authenticity. A short 15-second video of the creator explaining exactly what is inside the lead magnet and how it will help the viewer is becoming the gold standard. This builds immediate trust and humanizes the brand. Below the video or image, you have your call to action. Never use the word submit. It is a psychologically aggressive word that implies a loss of control. Use action-oriented language like "send me the guide," "start my trial," or "get my personalized report." Historical trends in A/B testing show that buttons with first-person language often see a 24% higher conversion rate. Another critical component of the modern opt-in is the concept of micro-commitments. Instead of asking for a name, email, phone number, and job title all at once, which creates high friction, successful marketers are using multi-step forms. Imagine a user lands on a page for a real estate investment tool. Step 1 asks, "What is your primary investment goal?" with 3 simple buttons. Step 2 asks, "What is your current budget range?" Only on Step 3, after the user has already invested time into the process, do you ask for the email to send the results. This leverages the psychological principle of consistency. Once someone starts a process, they are much more likely to finish it. We must also address the legal and ethical landscape of 2026. Transparency is your greatest marketing tool. Your opt-in form must clearly state what the user is signing up for. Gone are the days of hiding the newsletter subscription in the fine print. You want a clean, clear disclaimer that says, by entering your email, you agree to receive our weekly growth strategies and occasional product updates. While this might slightly lower your initial opt-in numbers, it dramatically increases the quality of your list. You are weeding out the freebie seekers who will never open your emails and keeping the potential customers who are genuinely interested in your expertise. Case studies from the SaaS industry indicate that transparent opt-ins result in a 40% higher open rate over the long term, because the expectation is set from the very first second. Step by step, the process for creating your first high-growth opt-in looks like this. First, conduct a deep dive into your audience's most common pain point. Use tools like search data, forum discussions, and customer feedback. Second, create a solution that can be consumed in less than 5 minutes. Speed to value is the metric that matters most. Third, build a dedicated landing page that is stripped of all distractions. No navigation bars, no social media links, just the offer and the form. Fourth, integrate your landing page with an email service provider that prioritizes deliverability. As we move forward, we have to consider the environment the email is landing in. We have successfully moved the visitor from a social platform to our landing page, and they have just hit the button to receive their value. Most people stop here thinking the job is done. But the moment after the opt-in is the most critical window in the entire customer journey. This is when their interest is at its absolute peak. If you wait 24 hours to send that first email, you have already lost. The automated delivery must be instantaneous. However, there is a hidden danger here. Many creators make the mistake of just sending the file and then disappearing. This is a wasted opportunity that can stall your growth before it even starts. Historical trends show that the first 60 minutes after an opt-in are when a lead is most likely to take a secondary action, whether that is joining a community, booking a call, or making a small purchase. This leads us to a massive question that most marketers fail to answer correctly. What happens on the thank you page? Is it just a dead end? Or is it a launchpad for the next level of engagement? If you are treating your thank you page as a simple confirmation, You are leaving thousands of dollars in potential outcomes on the table. But before we can maximize that page, we have to ensure the email we just sent actually gets opened in a crowded inbox. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to dive into the invisible mechanics of the inbox. We will discuss the specific words that trigger spam filters in 2026, and the exact subject line frameworks that can achieve a 70% open rate. We will also uncover the secret of the double open strategy that can double your reach without adding a single new subscriber to your list. The bridge has been crossed, the door is open, but now we have to make sure they actually want to listen to what you have to say once you are inside. To truly master the art of the inbox in 2026, you must realize that the battlefield has shifted from the content of your message to the technical reputation of your sending domain. In this era of hyper-advanced AI filtering, major providers like Google and Microsoft use machine learning algorithms that analyze thousands of data points before a single pixel of your email is even rendered. If you fail the technical audit, your carefully crafted message doesn't just go to the Promotions tab. It vanishes into a digital void where it is never seen by human eyes. This is the stage where most growth strategies fail because creators assume that having a list is the same as having an audience. Historical trends suggest that nearly 20% of commercial emails never reach the intended inbox due to poor sender reputation and lack of technical authentication. Imagine Sarah, a digital artist based in Austin, Texas, who spent the early part of 2026 building a list of 15,000 subscribers for her new brush pack launch. On the day of her release, she sent out a beautifully designed HTML email. However, Sarah hadn't touched her technical settings in 3 years. Because she lacked a properly configured DMARC record, which stands for Domain-Based Message Authentication, Reporting, and Conformance, her emails were flagged as high risk. Instead of a massive launch, she saw a measly 8% open rate. Most of her fans never even knew the product was live. Sarah was a victim of technical obsolescence. To avoid this, you must implement the trifecta of email authentication: SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. Think of these as your digital ID cards. SPF tells the world which servers are allowed to send email on your behalf. DKIM provides a digital signature that proves the email wasn't tampered with in transit. DMARC tells the receiving server exactly what to do if the first 2 checks fail. In 2026, having a P equals reject policy in your DMARC record is no longer optional for high-volume senders. It is a requirement for maintaining a seat at the table. Once your technical foundation is solid, we move into the psychology of the subject line. In a world where people check their phones an average of 100 times a day, your subject line has exactly 1.5 seconds to win a click. The historical data from 2025 and 2026 points toward a significant shift. Clarity is now outperforming curiosity. While clickbait subject lines might have worked 5 years ago, today's users are fatigued. They want to know exactly what is inside. Case studies of successful B2B firms in the United States show that subject lines which state the specific benefit, such as 3 ways to reduce your overhead by 10%, consistently see higher long-term engagement than vague hooks like "you won't believe this secret." However, there is an advanced technique we call the negative constraint subject line. Instead of telling them what to do, you tell them what to stop doing. For example, stop wasting time on low-yield social posts. This taps into loss aversion, a powerful psychological trigger where people are more motivated to avoid a loss than to achieve a gain. When Sarah from Austin shifted her strategy and used the subject line "why your digital paintings look flat," her open rate jumped from 8% to 32%. She identified a pain point and promised a specific correction. But what happens when people still don't open? This brings us to the double open strategy, one of the most effective ways to maximize growth without spending a single dollar on new leads. Historical trends indicate that even the best emails will be missed by 60 to 70% of your audience, simply due to bad timing. Maybe they were in a meeting, or maybe they were driving through traffic in downtown Los Angeles and cleared their notifications. The double open strategy involves identifying everyone who did not open your initial email and resending the exact same content 48 to 72 hours later. The key is to change the subject line and the preview text. If your first subject line was the 2026 Guide to Email Growth, your second one should be a direct question or a different angle, such as "Did you get the growth guide yet?" or "Quick question about your marketing." Case studies show that this single tactic can increase your total unique opens by up to 30%. It is not about being annoying. It is about being persistent in a high-noise environment. You are giving your audience a second chance to receive the value you promised them. Beyond the subject line, we must address the 2026 spam filter minefield. Modern filters are now analyzing the ratio of images to text. If your email is just one giant image, it is a massive red flag for spam bots. Historical data suggests that a 70-30 text-to-image ratio is the sweet spot for deliverability. Furthermore, the use of trigger words has evolved. While words like free or cash are still problematic, filters are now looking for aggressive urgency and deceptive formatting. Using all caps in your subject line or excessive exclamation points is a fast track to the spam folder. Instead, use a conversational tone. Write your emails as if you are sending a note to a single friend. This is why plain text emails or emails that look like plain text are seeing a massive resurgence in 2026. They feel personal, they feel authentic, and most importantly, they bypass the promotions tab algorithms that look for commercial HTML patterns. There is also the engagement hack that many top-tier US marketers are using to stay out of the spam folder: the reply request. In your very first email to a new subscriber, ask them a simple, low-friction question. Something like, "What is the #1 goal you are working on this month?" When a user replies to your email, it sends a powerful signal to their email provider that you are a trusted contact. This essentially whitelists your domain for that specific user. Imagine a scenario where a small fitness brand in Miami implemented this. By getting just 10% of their new subscribers to reply to the welcome email, their overall deliverability across their entire list improved by 15% over the next quarter. This is the power of behavioral signals. To truly master the inbox, you must also understand the concept of list hygiene. In 2026, a large list is a liability if it is not an active list. If you have 10,000 people but only 2,000 are opening, the 8,000 inactive users are actually dragging down the deliverability for the 2,000 who want to hear from you. This is known as the engagement anchor. Email providers see that a large portion of your audience is ignoring you, so they start to assume your content is low quality. We will be deep diving into the sunset policy later in this series, but for now, understand that growth is not just about adding names. It is about pruning the deadwood to keep the tree healthy. We have covered the technical identification, the psychology of the click, and the mechanics of the resend. You now have the tools to ensure that when you hit send, your message actually arrives. But getting the email opened is only half the battle. Once they are inside, you have a very limited window to turn that attention into a relationship. The most common mistake people make is treating the inbox like a billboard, rather than a conversation. They get the open and then they immediately try to sell. This is the quickest way to get a high unsubscribe rate. Instead, you need to master the art of the welcome sequence. This is the automated series of emails that triggers the moment someone opts in. It is your chance to make a first impression, establish your authority, and set the expectations for the entire relationship. Most people send one welcome email, and then put the subscriber into their general blast list. This is a massive mistake that kills potential outcomes before they can even manifest. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to break down the 5-email welcome engine. We will discuss the exact timing for each message, the specific goal of every email in the sequence, and how to use a technique called the soap opera sequence to create a narrative that keeps people checking their inbox every single day for your next update. We are moving from the technical mechanics to the high-level storytelling that builds real brand loyalty. The stage is set, the inbox is open, now it is time to tell your story. The moment that user clicks the button to join your list, you have triggered the most important automation in your entire business: the welcome engine. Historical trends from the last decade indicate that welcome emails generate 4 times the open rate and 5 times the click rate of standard bulk mailings. However, in 2026, a single email is no longer enough to build a lasting relationship. The current digital landscape is too noisy, and human attention is too fragmented. You need a multi-day narrative arc that shifts you from being a stranger in their inbox to being a trusted advisor. This is where we implement the soap opera sequence, a concept popularized in direct response marketing that uses the same psychological triggers as a hit television series to keep people coming back day after day. To understand how this works in practice, imagine Marcus, a boutique coffee roaster based in Seattle. Marcus doesn't just send a confirmation email when someone signs up for his brew guide. He understands that he is in the middle of a high-stakes competition for his subscribers' morning ritual. The second a user opts in, Marcus triggers email 1. The set the stage and deliver. This email arrives instantly. It provides the brew guide as promised, but more importantly, it sets the expectations for the next few days. Marcus uses a conversational tone to thank the subscriber, and then adds a critical postscript. The postscript is the secret weapon of high-growth email marketing, because data shows it is often the second most read part of an email after the subject line. Marcus writes, "Tomorrow I am going to share the one mistake I made that almost cost me my shop, and why most homebrewers are doing the exact same thing every morning." This creates an open loop in the subscriber's mind. They got their guide, but now they are curious about the disaster that Marcus avoided. In 2026, the technical timing of these emails is just as important as the content. For Marcus, email 2 arrives exactly 24 hours after the first. This is the high-drama email. Marcus doesn't talk about coffee beans yet. He talks about the struggle. He describes a rainy Tuesday in Seattle 3 years ago, when his equipment failed and he was $40,000 in debt. He paints a vivid picture of the stress and the feeling of nearly losing his dream. This is not fluff. This is building a human connection. People do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it. By the end of this email, the subscriber isn't just a lead. They are a fan who is rooting for Marcus to succeed. Before he signs off, he creates another open loop. "I was ready to quit, until I discovered a sourcing secret in the highlands of Ethiopia that changed everything. I will tell you what it was tomorrow." Email 3 is the epiphany. This is the bridge between the problem and your solution. Marcus explains how he found a specific direct trade model that allowed him to get higher quality beans while supporting farmers better. He introduces the methodology behind his brand. Historical trends in consumer behavior show that in 2026, buyers are looking for alignment with their values. By sharing his epiphany, Marcus is educating his audience on why his coffee is different without ever sounding like a salesman. He is providing value through education. He breaks down the science of bean density and roast profiles in a way that makes the reader feel like an insider. Case studies in the specialty food industry suggest that this type of educational storytelling can increase customer lifetime value by over 50%, because the customer now perceives the product as a specialized tool rather than a generic commodity. As we move into email 4, we focus on the hidden benefits and social proof. By now, the subscriber has spent 3 days hearing Marcus's story. They are primed for a recommendation. In this email, Marcus shares a story about one of his customers, a nurse named Sarah from Chicago who used his coffee to transform her stressful morning routine into a moment of peace. He includes a few snippets of testimonials from other customers who saw potential outcomes like improved focus and better tasting coffee at home. This is where you demonstrate that your solution works for people just like the subscriber. In 2026, peer-to-peer social proof is more influential than any corporate advertisement. Marcus is showing, not telling, that his coffee is the answer to the subscriber's desire for a better morning. Finally, email 5 is the call to action with a sense of urgency. Marcus doesn't use high-pressure tactics. Instead, he offers a specific incentive for new subscribers to try their first bag, such as a limited-time bonus of a specialty tasting spoon or a small discount on a subscription. He explains that because they roast in small batches to ensure quality, the current stock is limited. This is a legitimate logistical constraint that creates a natural reason for the user to act now. Throughout this 5-day sequence, Marcus has moved the user through an entire psychological journey. He didn't just blast them with a coupon on day 1 when they didn't know or trust him. He built a bridge of value, story, and proof. The data behind these sequences is staggering. Marketing platforms in 2026 report that users who complete a 5-day welcome sequence are 3 times more likely to remain on the email list after 6 months compared to those who only receive a single welcome note. Furthermore, the engagement rates for these narrative-driven emails typically stay 40% higher than industry averages. The key to making this work is consistent formatting and high-speed delivery. In your email service provider, you must set up these delays precisely. You want the emails to land at roughly the same time each day, creating a habitual checking of the inbox. However, even with a perfect welcome sequence, you will eventually face the problem of the plateau. After the excitement of the first week wears off, how do you keep your subscribers from hitting the unsubscribe button? How do you ensure that you are not just another name in their archive? In 2026, the answer is not more emails, it is better relevance. We have to move away from the one-size-fits-all approach and start talking to our subscribers as individuals with different needs and interests. If Marcus sends a guide on how to make espresso to someone who only owns a French press, he is losing relevance. Every irrelevant email you send is a withdrawal from the trust bank you built during the welcome sequence. To maintain maximum growth, you need to implement a system of behavioral tagging and segmentation. This is the process of automatically categorizing your subscribers based on the actions they take. Did they click the link about dark roasts or light roasts? Did they watch the video about cold brew or the one about hot pour-overs? In 2026, your email list should be a living, breathing map of your audience's preferences. This allows you to send targeted follow-ups that feel like a personal recommendation from a friend rather than a mass marketing blast. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to peel back the curtain on the invisible machine segmentation and tagging. I am going to show you the exact automated triggers that will allow you to sort your list into high-value buckets without lifting a finger. We will look at case studies of brands that doubled their revenue by sending fewer emails to more specific groups of people. We are going to move from the storytelling of the welcome sequence into the high-performance engineering of a segmented list. The real growth happens when you stop talking to everyone and start talking to the right person at the right time. Prepare to learn how to turn your list into a precision-guided growth engine. To build this precision-guided growth engine, you must first abandon the concept of the broadcast. In the marketing landscape of 2026, the term broadcast is a relic of a less sophisticated era, where businesses shouted at everyone in hopes that someone would listen. Today, maximum growth is achieved through the invisible machine of segmentation and tagging. This is the process of dividing your massive list into small, highly focused subgroups based on their specific behaviors, interests, and needs. If you are still sending the same email to every person on your list, you are not marketing. You are gambling with your deliverability and your brand's reputation. Historical trends indicate that segmented campaigns can result in a 760% increase in revenue because the content resonates on a personal level rather than a generic one. Imagine a business owner named Chloe who runs a high-end pet nutrition company in Denver. Chloe has a list of 25,000 subscribers. For years, she sent a weekly newsletter about general pet health. Her open rates were hovering around 18%, and her sales were stagnant. In 2026, Chloe decided to implement the invisible machine. She started by using a silent survey. In her welcome email, she included 3 simple links. I have a dog, I have a cat, or I have both. When a subscriber clicked I have a dog, Chloe's email service provider automatically applied a tag called pet type, dog. The result was transformative. The next time Chloe had a sale on grain-free puppy kibble, she didn't send it to 25,000 people. She sent it only to the 8,000 people tagged as dog owners. Her open rate for that specific campaign jumped to 55%. More importantly, she didn't annoy the 17,000 cat owners on her list with the relevant content. This preserved her relationship with the cat owners for when she eventually launched a new line of feline supplements. This is the core of segmentation. It is as much about what you don't send as it is about what you do send. To set this up, you need to understand the difference between declared data and behavioral data. Declared data is what a user tells you directly, such as their name or their pet type in Chloe's case. Behavioral data is what the user does. In 2026, behavioral data is the most valuable currency in email marketing. If a subscriber clicks a link in your email about knee pain, you should automatically tag them with interest, joint health. You don't need to ask them if they have joint pain. Their actions have already told you. Let's look at a case study of a US-based software company called Nexus Flow. They noticed that their highest value customers always visited their pricing page at least 3 times before purchasing. They set up an automation where any subscriber who visited the pricing page 3 times within a 7-day period was automatically tagged as a hot lead. This tag triggered a specific 3-email sequence designed to handle common objections and offer a one-on-one demonstration. Historical data from this case study showed that this targeted approach resulted in a 42% increase in trial-to-paid conversions. They weren't working harder to get new leads. They were simply identifying the best leads they already had. The technical execution of this involves setting up link triggers. Most modern email service providers allow you to attach an action to a link. When you are writing your email, you highlight a specific phrase and in the link settings, you select the option to add a tag. This allows you to map out your subscriber's journey in real time. If you are a travel blogger and you send an email with links to guides for Europe, Asia, and South America, you can instantly see which part of the world your audience is dreaming about. By the end of 1 month, your list is no longer a monolith of names. It is a categorized database of Europe lovers, Asia explorers, and South America adventurers. However, the machine goes deeper than just tags. In 2026, the gold standard for high retention marketing is conditional content. This is a feature that allows you to send one single email, but the content inside that email changes based on who is reading it. Imagine if Chloe sent out a newsletter about staying active with your pet. Using conditional content, the dog owners would see a paragraph about hiking trails in the Rockies, while the cat owners would see a section about interactive laser toys. The header image for the dog owners would be a golden retriever, and for the cat owners it would be a Siamese. This creates a hyper-personalized experience that makes the subscriber feel like you are speaking only to them. Historical trends show that this level of personalization leads to significantly higher engagement because it removes the cognitive load of the user having to filter out what isn't relevant to them. Another advanced strategy is lead scoring. This is where you assign numerical values to different actions. For example, opening an email might be worth 1 point. Clicking a link might be worth 5 points. Visiting your checkout page might be worth 50 points. In 2026, you can set up your system so that once a subscriber reaches a score of 100, they are automatically moved from your general nurturing list into a high-intensity sales sequence. This ensures that you are only pitching your most expensive products or services to the people who are most engaged. It prevents you from burning out your cold audience while maximizing the potential outcomes from your hot audience. Case studies from the financial education sector in the United States highlight that lead scoring helped one firm reduce their unsubscribe rate by 30%. They realized they were sending too many sales emails to people who were only at a 5-point engagement level. By shifting their strategy to only send offers to those with a score of 60 or higher, they increased their profit per subscriber because they were focusing their energy where the trust was already built. You must also consider the global privacy shifts of 2026. With the continued evolution of Apple's mail privacy protection and similar moves by other providers, open rates are becoming less reliable as a metric of success. This makes the invisible machine even more critical. Since you can't always know if someone opened an email, you must rely on clicks and on-site behavior to drive your tags. Clicks are an intentional act. They are a clear signal of interest. By building your segmentation strategy around clicks, you are future-proofing your business against any further privacy changes. The invisible machine is the foundation of scale. Once you have these tags and segments in place, your marketing becomes automated. You are no longer sitting at your computer every morning wondering what to send. Your system is working in the background, sorting people, scoring them, and delivering the exact content they need to see to move to the next stage of their journey. You have successfully moved from being a broadcaster to being a conductor of a highly tuned marketing orchestra. But once you have segmented your list and you know exactly who you are talking to, how do you actually make the sale without sounding like a used car salesman? How do you move someone from a tag to a transaction in a way that feels natural and helpful? This is where the psychology of the automated sales funnel comes in. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to dive into the architecture of the evergreen sales machine. We will discuss the specific triggers that turn a lead into a customer and the 3-part closing sequence that respects the user's intelligence while driving results. The machine is built, the segments are ready, now it is time to turn that attention into revenue. The shift from a segmented list to a high-converting evergreen sales machine is where most digital businesses either scale to new heights or stagnate in the friend zone with their audience. In 2026, the threshold of trust is higher than it has ever been. Consumers are savvy. They can smell a generic sales pitch from a mile away. To turn attention into revenue, you must implement the evergreen sales machine, a sequence of emails that triggers precisely when a subscriber is psychologically primed to make a purchase decision. This is not about a one-time blast. This is about a structured, multi-day closing sequence that respects the user's intelligence by providing a logical, emotional, and practical framework for their decision. Historical trends suggest that businesses using automated, behavior-triggered sales sequences see a 45% higher conversion rate compared to those relying on manual promotional blasts. Imagine a career coach named Jennifer based in New York City. Jennifer helps mid-level management professionals transition into C-suite executive roles. In early 2026, Jennifer realized that while her list was growing, her high-ticket coaching packages were not selling through email as she had hoped. She had the tags in place, she knew who was interested in leadership training, but she was missing the bridge. She implemented a 3-part closing sequence that we call the Gain Logic Fear framework. This framework is designed to address the 3 primary ways the human brain processes a buying decision. By covering all 3 bases, Jennifer was able to address the concerns of every type of buyer on her list, resulting in potential outcomes that doubled her quarterly enrollment without increasing her ad spend. The first phase of the evergreen sales machine is the Gain email. This email focuses entirely on the positive transformation. If Jennifer is reaching out to a manager named Tom who has been engaging with her leadership content, the GAIN email paints a vivid picture of what Tom's life looks like after he secures that executive promotion. It focuses on the increased influence, the higher level of impact, and the professional fulfillment. In 2026, the GAIN email must be highly specific. Instead of saying "you will make more money," Jennifer says, imagine walking into the boardroom not as an observer, but as the person setting the agenda for the next fiscal year. Case studies from the professional services industry show that when you focus on the identity shift rather than just the utility, the click-through rate to the sales page increases by nearly 30%. The second phase, which arrives 24 hours later, is the logic email. While the GAIN email appeals to the heart and the ego, the logic email appeals to the analytical mind. This is where you bring in the data, the process, and the social proof. In this email, Jennifer breaks down exactly how her executive program works. She shares a case study of a previous client who used her specific 3-step framework to land a chief operating officer role within 6 months. She includes a bulleted list of what is included: the modules, the coaching calls, and the proprietary networking templates. This email is designed to answer the question, how do I know this will work for me? By providing a clear roadmap and external validation through historical data, Jennifer removes the friction of uncertainty. In 2026, your audience needs to see the engine under the hood before they are willing to buy the car. The third and final phase of the sequence is the fear of missing out, or the urgency email. This is often the most misunderstood part of the process. In 2026, false scarcity is a brand killer. If you say a deal is ending and it doesn't, you lose the trust you spent months building. Jennifer uses legitimate scarcity. She explains that because she provides personalized feedback, she only accepts 10 new executives into her program each month. The third email informs Tom that there are only 2 spots remaining for the upcoming cohort. This taps into the psychological principle of loss aversion. Tom has already seen the GAIN and understands the logic. Now he is faced with the possibility of losing the opportunity to change his career trajectory for another 90 days. Historical trends indicate that up to 60% of total sales in an automated sequence occur in the final 24 hours of the urgency phase. To execute this technically in 2026, you must use what we call the deadline trigger. This is an automation that creates a unique expiration date for every individual subscriber based on when they entered the funnel. If Tom signs up on a Tuesday, his deadline is Friday. If Sarah signs up on a Thursday, her deadline is Sunday. This allows you to run a high-conversion sales machine 365 days a year without ever having to manually launch. You are essentially creating a personalized launch experience for every single person who joins your list. Case studies of US-based digital product companies show that implementing personalized deadline triggers can increase the average revenue per lead by over 50% because it creates a consistent, high-stakes environment for the purchase decision. However, a masterclass in growth wouldn't be complete without addressing what happens when they say no. Most marketers simply stop emailing the person once the sales sequence ends. This is a massive mistake. In 2026, the no is often just a not yet. This is where you implement the downsell or the pivot. If Tom doesn't buy the $5,000 coaching package, Jennifer's system waits 48 hours and then offers him a lower friction entry point, such as her $99 executive resume masterclass. This allows her to recoup her acquisition costs and, more importantly, it turns Tom into a customer. Once someone has paid you even $1, they are statistically 10 times more likely to buy from you again in the future compared to a non-buyer. This is the concept of the tripwire, and it is a critical component of maximum growth. We also have to discuss the role of interactive sales in 2026. One of the most effective ways to drive revenue through an opt-in list is the automated webinar or the video sales letter. Instead of just sending text emails, Jennifer's sequence might point Tom to a 20-minute masterclass that he can watch on demand. The email system tracks how much of the video Tom watched. If he watched more than 80% but didn't buy, he gets a specific sequence for high-intent leads. If he only watched 5 minutes, he gets a sequence designed to bring him back to finish the training. This level of behavioral integration ensures that you are always meeting the customer exactly where they are in their journey. By building this evergreen sales machine, you are moving away from the hustle of constant promotion. You are building an asset that produces potential outcomes regardless of whether you are sitting at your desk or sleeping. You have created a system that identifies interest through segmentation, builds trust through storytelling, and closes the deal through a structured psychological framework. This is how you achieve maximum growth without burning out your audience or yourself. You are no longer chasing sales. You are facilitating a natural progression from curiosity to commitment. But even the most perfect sales machine will eventually slow down if the underlying list isn't being constantly optimized. The market changes, the algorithms shift, and what worked in January might be obsolete by June. To stay at the top, you must master the art of continuous improvement through high-level testing and data analysis. How do you know if your subject line is the best it can be? How do you know if your gain email is actually resonating? In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to dive into the science of optimization, A/B testing, and data analytics. We will discuss the specific metrics you need to track in 2026 to ensure your machine stays profitable, and the 3 things you should be testing right now to potentially double your click-through rates. We are moving from the architecture of the sale to the laboratory of the marketer. The machine is running, now we are going to make it run faster, leaner, and more profitably. To enter the laboratory of the marketer in 2026, you must first accept a hard truth. Your intuition is frequently your greatest liability. In the high-stakes world of digital growth, what you think will work is often the exact opposite of what the data dictates. Mastery of opt-in marketing requires a shift from being a creator who guesses to an optimizer who validates. This is the stage where we apply the scientific method to every single character and pixel in your funnel. In 2026, with the rise of machine learning-driven inboxes, the margin for error has narrowed. If your engagement signals are weak, your deliverability will suffer. Therefore, optimization is no longer a luxury for the elite. It is a survival mechanism for everyone. Historical trends from the last decade show that companies that embrace a culture of continuous A/B testing outgrow their competitors by nearly 300% in terms of annual recurring revenue. Imagine a business owner named Tyler based in Los Angeles who runs a premium subscription service called Heritage Harvest, which delivers heirloom seeds and organic gardening supplies across the United States. Tyler had built a solid list of 50,000 subscribers using the methods we have discussed. His evergreen sales machine was generating steady revenue, but Tyler felt he was leaving potential outcomes on the table. He decided to turn his marketing into a laboratory. He didn't change everything at once. He followed the rule of isolated variables. If you change the subject line, the header image, and the call to action all at the same time, you will have no idea which change caused the result. Tyler started with the most visible element, the subject line of his main sales email. In 2026, the laboratory focus has shifted because of technical changes like Apple Mail privacy protection. Tyler knew that open rates were no longer the absolute truth. Instead, he tracked the click-to-open rate and the earnings per lead. He ran a split test. Version A used a curiosity-based subject line, the secret to giant tomatoes. Version B used a direct benefit subject line, grow 20% larger tomatoes this season. He sent these to a small segment of 5,000 people. Version A got more opens, but version B resulted in 40% more clicks and double the sales. The data told Tyler that curiosity was attracting looky-loos, while the direct benefit was attracting buyers. By rolling out version B to the remaining 45,000 people, Tyler saw a massive spike in revenue that he would have missed if he had only looked at the open rate. This leads us to the science of statistical significance. You cannot run a test on 50 people and assume the results are a law of nature. In 2026, you need a sample size large enough to ensure the result isn't a fluke. Most modern email platforms have built-in calculators for this, but as a rule of thumb, you should wait until you have at least 100 conversions before declaring a winner. Tyler applied this rigor to his body copy as well. He tested a short, punchy email against a long-form narrative email. Historical data in the gardening niche suggested that his audience valued expertise and detail. The results confirmed this. The long-form email, which read more like a mini masterclass, outperformed the short email by 25% in click-through rate. In an era of short-form video, high-quality long-form text in an email can actually act as a pattern interrupt that builds deeper trust. The next experiment in Tyler's laboratory was the call to action, or CTA. For years, the standard advice was to use a big, bright button. In 2026, Tyler tested a blue button against a simple underlined text link that said, "View the seed collection here." To his surprise, the text link won. Why? Because in a world saturated with professional marketing, the text link felt more like a personal recommendation from a friend and less like a corporate advertisement. This is a prime example of why you must test the fundamentals. Even something as small as the copy on your button matters. Tyler tested join now versus send me my seeds. The latter, written in the first person from the user's perspective, saw a 15% higher conversion rate. This is the psychology of ownership. The user feels like they already possess the value before they even click. Data analytics in 2026 also requires looking at the churn rate and the list health. Tyler noticed that a specific lead magnet he was using, a free digital wallpaper of garden layouts, was attracting 500 new subscribers a week. However, the data showed that 90% of those people unsubscribed or went cold after 30 days. They weren't interested in gardening, they were just interested in free art. Tyler realized this lead magnet was toxic to his list health. It was bloating his numbers while dragging down his sender reputation. He killed the wallpaper offer and replaced it with a more technical soil health checklist. His daily signups dropped by half, but his earnings per lead tripled. This is the difference between vanity metrics and growth metrics. We must also discuss the laboratory of timing. In 2026, the old rule of Tuesday at 10 a.m. is obsolete. Your audience is global and their habits are diverse. Tyler used a feature called send time optimization, which uses data to deliver the email at the exact moment each individual subscriber is most likely to check their inbox based on their historical behavior. This resulted in a consistent 10% lift in engagement across the board. Furthermore, he tested the frequency of his emails. He was worried that emailing 3 times a week would lead to mass unsubscribes. He ran a test. One group got 1 email a week, another got 3. The group receiving 3 emails a week had a slightly higher unsubscribe rate, but the total revenue from that group was 300% higher. The lesson: those who stayed were his true customers, and they wanted more from him. Step by step, your optimization protocol should look like this. First, identify your weakest link. Is it the opt-in rate on your landing page, the open rate of your emails, or the click rate on your offers? Second, form a hypothesis. I believe that changing the headline to focus on a specific pain point will increase clicks. Third, run a clean A/B test with a significant sample size. Fourth, analyze the results based on conversion and revenue, not just vanity signals. Fifth, implement the winner and immediately start the next test. In the laboratory of 2026, the work is never finished. You are constantly refining the machine to account for changing consumer psychology. Case studies from the U.S. financial sector show that even a 0.5% increase in conversion at each stage of the funnel can lead to a doubling of the bottom line over the course of a year. This is the power of compounding gains. By focusing on these marginal improvements, Tyler was able to scale Heritage Harvest from a side project into a dominant player in the niche. He didn't do it through a stroke of genius. He did it through the disciplined application of data. He stopped arguing with his audience and started listening to their actions. But optimization doesn't just happen inside the email. The laboratory extends to the very beginning of the journey. Once you have a high-converting, optimized machine, the biggest bottleneck becomes the volume of people entering the funnel. You can have the best engine in the world, but without fuel, you aren't going anywhere. This leads us to the most aggressive phase of our masterclass: scaling the top of the funnel. How do you find thousands of the right people and get them to see your offer without spending a fortune on unpredictable ads? In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to explore the viral traffic engine. We will discuss the specific collaboration strategies that are working in 2026 to bring in high-intent leads for free, and the secret of the referral loop that turns your current subscribers into your most effective sales force. We are moving from the laboratory of the marketer to the battlefield of the attention economy. The machine is optimized, the data is clear. Now it is time to turn on the fire hose of traffic. Prepare to learn how to scale your growth at a pace that most people think is impossible. In 2026, the cost of customer acquisition through traditional digital advertising has hit an all-time high. The saturation of the attention economy means that if you are relying solely on paid ads to fuel your opt-in funnel, you are essentially buying growth at a premium that often eats your entire profit margin. This is the bottleneck of the modern marketer. To overcome this, you must build what we call the viral traffic engine. This is a system that leverages the authority of others and the enthusiasm of your existing audience to create a self-sustaining cycle of new leads. Historical trends indicate that leads acquired through referrals and strategic partnerships have a 30% higher retention rate and a significantly higher lifetime value than those acquired through cold social media advertisements. We are moving from the era of paying for every click to the era of owning the ecosystem. Imagine Elena, a professional yoga instructor based in Miami who specializes in mindful movement for corporate employees. In early 2026, Elena's growth had plateaued because the cost of reaching her target audience on Instagram and LinkedIn had doubled within 6 months. She stopped competing for the same expensive ad space and started looking at where her audience was already spending their time. She identified 5 newsletters in the corporate wellness and mental health space that had a combined reach of 200,000 subscribers. Instead of asking for a simple shout-out, she offered a value swap. She wrote a hyper-specific guest column for each newsletter titled The 5-Minute Desk Flow for High-Stress Managers. Within that column, she offered a free video series as an opt-in for those who wanted the full routine. The results were transformative. Because she was introduced by a trusted voice to a pre-qualified audience, her conversion rate on her landing page was over 40%. In 1 month, Elena added 5,000 high-intent leads to her list without spending a single dollar on advertising. This is the power of the trusted handshake. In 2026, your growth is limited by your isolation. By forming these strategic alliances, you are essentially tapping into a fire hose of traffic that has already been filtered for quality. Step by step, the collaboration protocol involves identifying non-competing but complementary brands, creating a custom lead magnet specifically for their audience, and ensuring the technical handoff is seamless so the new subscribers are immediately tagged with the source of their origin. Now, let's look at the second pillar of the viral traffic engine, the referral loop. This is the process of turning your email list into your primary marketing department. Imagine Mike, a tech reviewer in San Francisco who runs a newsletter about the latest advancements in artificial intelligence. Mike realized that his subscribers were already talking about his content on social media and in private Slack channels. He decided to formalize this behavior by implementing a milestone referral system. This is a technical setup where every subscriber is given a unique referral link at the bottom of every email. When they share that link and someone else signs up, the original subscriber earns points toward exclusive rewards. Mike didn't offer generic prizes or cash. He offered value that deepened their relationship with his brand, which is a key historical trend in successful referral marketing. For 3 referrals, they got access to a private Discord community. For 10 referrals, they received his proprietary AI prompt library. For 50 referrals, they got a one-on-one strategy call. Historical data from similar case studies in late 2025 show that a well-executed referral system can account for 20 to 30% of all new monthly signups. Mike's list didn't just grow, it grew exponentially. Every new subscriber became a potential recruiter for the next 3 subscribers. This creates a compounding effect that bypasses the limitations of the social media algorithm. By the summer of 2026, Mike had added 20,000 subscribers purely through the efforts of his own community. To truly turn on the fire hose, you must also master the bridge between short-form social content and long-form email retention. In 2026, platforms like TikTok and YouTube Shorts are the ultimate discovery engines, but they are highly volatile for building deep loyalty. The mistake most creators make is trying to sell directly from a viral video. Instead, you should use social media as a hook and the email list as the destination. If you have a video that goes viral, your only goal should be to move that audience into your opt-in funnel immediately before the algorithm shifts to the next trend. Case studies of viral creators in the United States show that the most effective way to do this is through a contextual bridge page. Instead of a generic link in bio, you create a specific landing page that matches the theme of the viral video. If you posted a video about the top 5 productivity tools for 2026, your bridge page should offer a 1-page PDF with the direct links and your personal setup guide for those specific tools. This creates a seamless transition. You are not asking them to join a list. You are offering them the natural next step to the content they just enjoyed. This strategy sees a 50% higher conversion rate than a generic website pop-up because it respects the user's current state of mind. Beyond formal systems, there is the science of the invisible referral. This involves making your emails so valuable that people feel a social obligation to forward them to their peers. In 2026, this is driven by the niche insight framework. When you provide a piece of data, a specific case study, or a perspective that isn't common knowledge, you give your subscriber social currency. When they forward your email to their colleagues, they look like an expert. To facilitate this, every single email you send should include a forward to a friend call to action that explains exactly why they should share it. For example, know someone who is struggling with their email deliverability? Forward them this guide to help them stay out of the spam folder. This is a low-friction way to expand your reach into private networks that no advertisement can penetrate. As you turn on the fire hose, you will face a new set of challenges that most marketers are unprepared for. When you are adding hundreds or thousands of people a day, the quality of your list can become diluted. If your referral system is too focused on the reward and not the content, you might attract people who have no intention of ever engaging with your products. This is where the concept of the friction check becomes essential. In 2026, high-growth marketers are actually adding small hurdles to their opt-in process, such as a double opt-in or a short qualifying quiz, to ensure that only high-quality leads make it through the fire hose. Historical trends show that a list of 10,000 highly engaged leads is significantly more valuable than a list of 50,000 disinterested ones who will eventually drag down your deliverability. Furthermore, you must prepare your technical infrastructure for the surge. High-volume sending requires a different level of server management and a more aggressive approach to list hygiene. If you are scaling at a rapid pace, your unsubscribe and complaint rates will be monitored more closely by the major email providers. One bad day of high complaints from a viral surge can destroy your sender reputation for months. This requires a sophisticated approach to managing the influx and ensuring that your automated welcome sequence can handle the load without breaking. We have now covered the architecture of the funnel, the laboratory of optimization, and the engine of viral growth. You have the tools to build, refine, and scale a massive opt-in list. But there is one final piece of the puzzle that separates the temporary successes from the long-term legends. In 2026, the real battle is not just getting the lead. It is keeping the lead healthy. As your list grows into the hundreds of thousands, how do you manage the complexity without losing the personal touch that made you successful in the first place? In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to dive into the technical and strategic world of advanced list management and the sunset policy. We will discuss the specific automated workflows that keep your list clean and the re-engagement campaigns that can bring a cold audience back to life. We will also look at the data behind deliverability insurance and how to protect your most valuable asset from the evolving filters of the internet giants. The fire hose is on, the leads are flowing. Now we must ensure they stay and pay for years to come. Maintaining a massive email list in 2026 is less like owning a library and more like managing a biological ecosystem. If you do not actively prune the dead branches, the entire tree will eventually wither. As you scale, you will encounter a phenomenon known as the engagement anchor. This occurs when a growing percentage of your list becomes inactive, sending a signal to major providers like Gmail and Outlook that your content is no longer relevant. When these providers see that thousands of people are ignoring your messages, they begin to preemptively route your emails to the promotions folder or worse, the spam folder for everyone, including your most active fans. To prevent this, you must implement a rigorous sunset policy. Historical trends show that lists that are aggressively cleaned every 90 days see a 25% higher average open rate compared to those that prioritize quantity over quality. In the digital economy of 2026, a list of 50,000 active subscribers is worth 10 times more than a list of 500,000 ghosts. Imagine a business owner named Alex, a digital course creator based in Nashville. In early 2026, Alex reached a milestone of 100,000 subscribers. On the surface, it looked like a massive success. However, his open rates had slowly decayed from 28% to a staggering 11% over 12 months. His revenue was actually declining despite his list growing. Alex was suffering from list rot. He was paying high monthly fees to his email service provider to store data for people who hadn't opened an email since 2024. He decided to implement an automated sunset policy. This is a technical workflow that tracks the last engagement date of every subscriber. If a user hasn't opened or clicked an email in 60 days, they are automatically moved into a re-engagement bucket. If they still don't engage after a final 3-part win-back sequence, they are permanently removed from the list. The first step in Alex's recovery was the win-back sequence. In 2026, you cannot be subtle with these emails. You have to be direct. The first email in the sequence used the subject line, "Is this goodbye?" The copy was simple and human. It acknowledged that Alex's emails might no longer be a fit for their current goals and offered a one-click way to stay on the list. For those who didn't click, the second email arrived 48 hours later with the subject line, "I am removing you from the list tomorrow." This taps into the psychological principle of loss aversion. Many people who have simply been busy or overwhelmed will suddenly realize they actually value the content when faced with its permanent removal. Historical data from US-based SaaS companies indicates that a well-crafted win-back sequence can recover up to 15% of inactive subscribers. For Alex, this meant regaining 15,000 high-value leads who had simply drifted away. However, the real power was in the deletion of the remaining 85% of inactives. By removing nearly 40,000 dead leads, Alex's sender reputation skyrocketed within 3 weeks. His emails began landing at the very top of the primary inbox again. His open rates jumped back to 26%. Even though his total list size was smaller, his total clicks and total sales increased by 35%. This is the counterintuitive reality of high-growth marketing. You must be willing to let go of the numbers that don't matter to protect the numbers that do. Beyond the sunset policy, we must address the technical concept of deliverability insurance. In 2026, the major email platforms have implemented advanced AI filters that look for more than just spam words. They look at your domain's historical behavior and your IP reputation. If you are a high-volume sender, you should consider moving to a dedicated IP address. On a shared IP, your deliverability is at the mercy of every other person using that same server. If a random user on your shared server starts sending suspicious content, your emails could be blacklisted by association. A dedicated IP gives you total control over your reputation. Furthermore, you should utilize seed testing. This involves sending your email to a small, controlled list of addresses across different providers to see exactly where it lands before you send it to your entire audience. This allows you to catch technical errors or formatting issues that might trigger a filter before the damage is done. Another critical component of list management is the use of automated scrubbing services. In 2026, spam traps and malicious bots are more sophisticated than ever. A spam trap is an old, inactive email address that providers use as a lure. If you send an email to one of these addresses, it tells the provider that you are using an old, uncleaned list or worse, a purchased list. This can lead to an immediate and permanent ban of your domain. Professional scrubbing tools can scan your list for these traps, as well as for temporary email addresses and known complainers. Case studies of major e-commerce brands show that monthly scrubbing can reduce bounce rates by 50% and significantly improve long-term deliverability. We also need to discuss the psychology of the unsubscribe. In 2026, you should make it as easy as possible for people to leave. Hiding the unsubscribe button or making users log into a portal to opt out is a guaranteed way to get marked as spam. When a user clicks the spam button, it hurts your reputation 10 times more than if they simply unsubscribe. You want the people who don't want your content to leave quickly and quietly. Some of the most successful US marketers are now placing an unsubscribe link at the very top of their emails. This signals to both the user and the provider that you are a high-trust sender who only wants to talk to people who are interested in the conversation. As your list grows, you will also face the challenge of content fatigue. This is why segmentation, which we discussed earlier, must be paired with frequency capping. In 2026, you can set up your system so that no individual subscriber receives more than, for example, 4 emails per week, regardless of how many different sequences they are in. This prevents you from overwhelming your most engaged fans who might have signed up for multiple lead magnets. Historical trends suggest that over-emailing is the #1 reason for high-quality leads to unsubscribe. By respecting the subscriber's inbox capacity, you extend the lifetime value of every lead on your list. Let's look at a scenario involving a finance professional named Sarah in Chicago. Sarah manages a list of high-net-worth individuals interested in alternative investments. Because the stakes are high, Sarah cannot afford to have her emails missed. She uses a high-touch list management strategy where she monitors her engagement scores daily. If she sees a drop in her click-to-open rate, she immediately pauses her automated sequences and sends a value-only plain text email to reset the relationship. She treats her list like a garden that requires daily attention. By 2026, this level of manual oversight paired with automated systems is what separates the top 1% of marketers from the rest. Advanced list management also involves monitoring your DMARC reports. In previous parts, we discussed the importance of authentication, but in 2026, you must also look at the feedback loops provided by these protocols. These reports will tell you if someone is trying to spoof your domain, or if your emails are failing authentication on specific networks. Ignoring these reports is like ignoring a check engine light on a high-performance vehicle. Eventually, the engine will fail. By staying on top of these technical signals, you ensure that your growth is built on a stable long-term foundation. We have now mastered the technical infrastructure, the psychological triggers, the scaling engines, and the maintenance protocols of the perfect opt-in system. You have built a machine that is efficient, resilient, and highly profitable. But there is one final step. In 2026, the ultimate goal of email marketing is not just to sell products. It is to create a self-sustaining brand that lives beyond the inbox. How do you take this massive, engaged, clean list and turn it into a community that advocates for you? How do you leverage your email list to dominate other platforms and ensure that your business is unkillable? In the final part of this masterclass, we are going to look at the master level of email marketing, the ecosystem synergy. We will discuss how to use your list to trigger the algorithms of YouTube and social media on command, and the secret of the high-ticket backend that can turn a small list into a seven-figure enterprise. We are moving from managing a list to leading a movement. The machine is perfected, the list is clean. Now it is time to achieve total market dominance. Proceed to the final part to see how it all comes together. To achieve total market dominance in 2026, you must stop viewing your email list as a siloed marketing channel and start treating it as the command center for your entire digital ecosystem. This is the stage of omnipresence. In the current landscape, the most successful creators and businesses do not just exist on one platform. They use their email list to bend the algorithms of every other platform to their will. This is called algorithm hijacking. When you have a clean, segmented, and highly engaged list, you possess the power to provide the one thing every social media platform craves: initial velocity. Historical trends show that content which receives a massive spike in high-quality engagement within the first 60 minutes of publication is significantly more likely to be pushed to a broader global audience. By 2026, the email list has become the primary tool for manufacturing these spikes on demand. Imagine a strategist named Sophia living in Austin. Sophia spent the last year building an opt-in list of 40,000 professionals in the sustainable architecture niche. When Sophia publishes a new deep dive video on YouTube, she doesn't just hope the algorithm finds her audience. She triggers her email to algorithm bridge. Within 15 minutes of the video going live, Sophia sends a hyper-focused email to her list with a direct link and a specific call to action. Because her list is already primed and segmented, she sees an immediate influx of 5,000 high-retention viewers. This tells the YouTube algorithm that her video is exceptionally relevant, causing it to be suggested to hundreds of thousands of non-subscribers. Case studies from top-tier US channels in 2026 show that this initial velocity strategy can increase total reach by over 400% compared to creators who rely solely on organic platform discovery. You are no longer a victim of the algorithm. You are its primary fuel source. But the synergy goes deeper than just traffic. We must discuss the high-ticket backend, which is where the true wealth of an email list is realized. While low-cost products and subscriptions provide the cash flow to sustain your business, the high-ticket offers provide the scale for maximum growth. In 2026, the most effective way to sell a $5,000 or $10,000 service is not through a public sales page, but through an application-only email funnel. This leverages the psychological principle of exclusivity and the intimacy of the inbox. Sophia doesn't blast her entire list with a link to her premium consulting package. Instead, she uses behavioral tagging to identify the top 5% of her most engaged subscribers. She then sends them a personal, plain-text invitation to apply for a limited-seat mastermind. The data behind this approach is compelling. Historical trends indicate that private, invitation-only offers sent to segmented email lists convert at a rate 7 times higher than public-facing offers. By removing the buy button and replacing it with an apply now link, Sophia shifts the power dynamic. She is no longer a vendor hoping for a sale. She is a high-value expert selecting her partners. This creates a feedback loop of prestige. As more people apply and are vetted, the perceived value of the brand increases, allowing Sophia to raise her prices and further refine her list. This is the transition from a content creator to a market authority. To execute this, you need a technical setup known as the revenue waterfall. This involves a sequence of automated triggers that move a subscriber through different levels of your value ladder based on their purchasing behavior. If a subscriber buys a $20 ebook, they are automatically moved into a sequence for a $200 course. If they complete that course, they are tagged as a high-intent lead and moved into the application funnel for the high-ticket service. In 2026, this automation is seamless and invisible to the user. It feels like a natural progression of their journey with your brand. Case studies of US-based consulting firms show that this waterfall method can increase the average customer lifetime value by over 300% within a single fiscal year. We also have to look at the concept of platform independence. In early 2026, several major social media platforms underwent significant policy shifts that decimated the reach of thousands of businesses. Those who relied solely on those platforms were left with nothing. However, Those with a robust opt-in email list remained untouched. They simply redirected their traffic to new platforms or their own hosted communities. This is your insurance policy against digital volatility. By owning your data, you are essentially building a business on a foundation of solid rock rather than shifting sand. Let's look at a scenario involving a US fitness brand named Peak Performance. They had built a massive following on a platform that suddenly changed its monetization rules, making it impossible for them to reach their fans without paying exorbitant fees. Because Peak Performance had been aggressively building their email list for 3 years, they were able to migrate their entire community to a private, paid membership site over a single weekend. They sent a 3-day email sequence explaining the move and offering a founding member discount. They successfully transitioned 60% of their active revenue to a platform they owned entirely. This would have been impossible without the direct line of communication that only email provides. Furthermore, your email list is the ultimate tool for market research. In 2026, you don't need expensive consultants to tell you what your audience wants. You just need to ask them. By using interactive polls and survey triggers within your emails, you can gather real-time data on your audience's shifting pain points. If 50% of your list clicks a link about AI-driven design but only 10% click a link about traditional CAD software, you know exactly where to focus your next product development cycle. This data-driven agility is what allows small, lean teams to outmaneuver massive corporations. You are moving faster because you are listening better. As we conclude this deep dive masterclass, you must understand that the mastery of opt-in email marketing is a journey of consistency, not a single event. The mechanics we have covered, from the initial hook and the technical authentication to the evergreen sales machine and the viral traffic engine, all work together to create a singular, powerful asset. This asset is your audience. In 2026, the most valuable thing you can own is a list of people who trust your voice and look forward to your perspective. Everything else is secondary. The potential outcomes for those who implement this system are vast. We have seen case studies where a simple list of 5,000 highly engaged subscribers outperformed a social media following of 5 million in terms of actual bottom-line revenue. The goal is not to be famous. The goal is to be effective. You are building a machine that captures attention, converts it into trust, and scales that trust into a sustainable, high-growth business. You are now equipped with the technical blueprint and the psychological frameworks to dominate your niche. But as the digital landscape continues to evolve, a new frontier is emerging that most marketers are completely ignoring. While everyone is focused on the inbox, the rise of decentralized ID and AI agents is about to change how we think about the concept of the opt-in forever. If you think the current shifts in privacy are significant, you are not prepared for what is coming in the next 18 months. The way users grant permission and the way AI assistants filter their communications will require a completely different approach to authority and authenticity. The battle for the inbox was just the beginning. The battle for the digital gatekeeper is next. You have mastered the present. Now it is time to secure your future. Stay tuned for the next deep dive into the evolution of digital ownership.